Hey, Timur Sol here. Now, this is one of the bigger maps that I've built, probably. It's hard to tell how many squares it is, so let's check using the export map tool. If I go into the export map and I click where I'm in images, this is default. If I click initiate selection and just drag it around my map, I can see that it's 100 times 100. That is 500 feet in each direction. I could change the pixels per inch. Just keep in mind that the width and height of an exported image from Arkenforge cannot exceed 16,000. Yes, you heard correctly, 16,000. That's a lot of DPI. So I could export it at 160 pixels per inch. If I would click start export, it would export to an external file. Now, what I wanted to show you on this map is the importance of details that you can build in such scenarios. We've seen some background images. We've seen me build a tavern, or sorry, a mansion. I didn't show you anything like this yet. I'll lower the time of day a little bit so it looks a little bit more gloomy, although on second thought you probably should see everything good and not gloomy. We're not during my game. Okay, so what I mean by importance of details. Now, to build a dungeon like this, you need to keep in mind that this is not a pristine, clean place. If this is a dungeon or some forgotten, ruined keep or anything like that, you will want to have a lot of specks on the floor, a lot of things lying around. You want to have rubble, you'll want to have leftovers, you'll want to have cracks, you'll want to have things like these over here. And to build this in a relatively easy way, you will need to use different types of techniques. So let's just jump into it, and I'll explain a few things how I do it. Now, how do I do these interesting specs of different things, splatters and so on, or things like here? Actually, these splatters are blood splatters, so there's no difference, no technical difference between this splatter over here, which is the prison blood from Dungeons Deep, and no difference between that and this over here, which is a blood splatter from towns and cities from Arkenforge. Now, by clicking the icon over here, I unlock this, so I can easily click it and see how it is made. Now, if I go into if I go into my content properties panel and my transforms, I'll see that it's a little bit a little bit squished, but what is more important is my image manipulation. Now, the hue I changed to 0.14 and the opacity to 0.37. Let's pull up my controls over here and see how it looks like. Now, I remind you that the normal is 50. Let's go opacity 100, and you see that the hue is actually greenish over here. This is because the background over here is also kind of greenish, so I wanted to keep it coherent. The brightness is down because I wanted to also have a greasy-like feel over here, which is also why I have the saturation down. Now, if I would put this all back to 50, you would see that this is a regular vivid blood splatter. If I would just put the opacity down over here, well, it still is a pinkish splatter. If I would just use on the saturation alone, it also does not have the same effect. I need to also use the brightness. Now, with these three, I can use the hue a little bit. I don't know if you see it on your screens. There is a slight difference. You can see it over here, for example. There's a slight difference. If the difference is not enough for you, you can just bump the saturation and the brightness a little bit. And now I believe you will see that there are differences, in fact, in the color. So using all these four, you can easily create a splatter on the ground. These splatters, in my opinion, they give a real solid feel that this is a real dungeon. Well, not real, but that is a dungeon that is, let's say, was inhabited at one part. Okay, what else do we have here that I wanted to show? I wanted to talk a little bit about the rubble that I have over here and how I did it. Let's use these over here. I'm gonna hold my shift and drag select. I'm gonna use my X over here to deselect the tiles that I might have over here. I selected a wall for example. I didn't want that. And now I believe I have it all. I'm gonna copy it, Control C. I'm gonna paste it over here. Shift, select all, toggle locked. Now they're unlocked. Now I can dissect what I did over here and check step by step how I did it. Now, as you can see, these are simply objects that are on their own, in a way, destructed. Desert dungeon rubble, ruins from the wild, some dirt from Arkenforge. Now, this again, we'll see that if we open up the controls, that normally it would look like this. I often fiddle with these controls to make stuff look more appealing. This is one type of rubble that you could do, just stack different types of objects on top of each other. The other type of rubble that you might want to build is something like this over here, stacked ruined wall pieces or other bricks or something like that. If I copy this over here, for example, again, unlock the tile, build options, object, single. I'm gonna hold my shift key to randomize while I place the objects. I'm gonna put some over here. Now I'm gonna select them. 28 objects. I can toggle group right now, and when I toggle the group, if I select one, all 28 are selected. Now I can copy them, paste them. I'll rotate the original a little bit and put it underneath. Now if I take it again, copy it over here, take this one, copy it here over here, make it a little bit smaller, and I'm relatively sure that that the objects will look different from each other, and I have a neatly stacked rubble.